So I believe we are almost there. Here we go. Wonderful. And I believe we have both audiences with us now. Welcome to the Win Win Women audience. We're so glad that you're here. And of course, welcome to our friends on YouTube. Today, our topic is winterizing your wellness. And I want to start off by giving you a couple of things that are warning signs, things that you have to be leery of during the winter months. So, warning number one, you really should be sleeping more in the winter, which everyone is probably screaming, "Yay, hallelujah, that's so wonderful," but not so easy to do. It's really important to remember that we have something called the circadian rhythm that we go by. So, as the sun comes up, so does our body wake up. And as the sun goes down, our body should be going to sleep, or at least it should be winding down. And if you think about what was available to the earliest of mankind, anything that would happen later in the night when the sun was down and the stars were out and the moon was out, we had fire, right? Or we had candlelight. And that's a much softer light than fluorescent lights, indoor lighting. So it's really important that you look for a light bulb in your house that's dim and one that actually mimics the sun and brings down the light at night. So there are some natural light bulbs. I could find a couple of companies and recommend them to you. I can put that in the comment section. But basically, you want to get rid of the harsh light, especially harsh blue light that you're finding in the environment. Now, I will tell you, I was just recently at the eye doctor, and one of the cool things that he gave me to sample was something called a blue light contact lens. And at first I thought, oh, this is really amazing. And I was even, a little bit drawn into it because my daughter said to me, "Oh, mom, your eyes look so blue." So there must be some kind of tinting to the contact lens. Anyway, we found out that tinted contact lenses are very dangerous. And if you want more information about that, you can do a quick search online. But the blue light glasses, the contact lenses, although I could see the benefit with screens and I could see the benefits late at night, it really wasn't good for me during the morning when we want the blue light. And so be careful of the technology that's out there. You want to try to take steps that are going to be as natural as possible because that's how your body was designed. It wasn't designed for all this artificial intervention. And yes, we do want to get rid of some of the blue light during the day, but I would recommend, at night. So I would recommend a blue light glass. I wouldn't recommend blue light contact lenses. Okay. So, warning number one is don't stay up too late with artificial light. If you're going to stay up really late, then you're going to have super dim lights in your home or candlelight. Just make sure it's safe because open flames can be dangerous as well. Warning number two, when the weather gets colder, the sugar content goes up. Whether it's a warm drink with sugar, whether it is choosing a baked good over fruit, which is more plentiful in warmer months, or just the fact that people turn to comfort foods in times of cold. Be very, very weary of that. And I'm going to give you something later in the show that you're going to replace for those cravings. So, and number three, our big warning for winterizing is you have to be protected in the winter months. So, thinking that it's okay to just run out and not wear gloves or not have proper footwear, not getting cold, getting damp, all of these things can damage everything in your health from your hair to your skin to your nails to your feet. And as we age, if we're trying to slow down that process and we're trying to keep disease at bay, we want to do as many things as we can to protect ourselves. So, as I said today, I'm going to give you solutions to all of those issues that are inevitable in the winter months. But let's start with our physical health and what we can do to improve it. And a lot of this is also going to be cosmetic. So, I hope this is also going to be fun for you. So let's start with our hair. believe it or not, you should be a little more protective of your hair in the winter months. You do have liquid in your hair, and when it gets really, really cold outside, your hair can get brittle. You also have to be careful if you're using a lot of heat products that you find an all natural heat protectant for your hair. But one thing that you can do that I really love that's available to everyone from doTERRA is an oil called Balance. Now, most of our blends do not have fatty oils in it, but this one does. And that means that I can use it in different ways. One of the ways I love to use Balance is actually on the ends of my hair to protect it from split ends. I also like to massage it into my scalp. And so you're going to see it has a bit of a blue color in it because it has a beautiful oil called blue tansy. Now, blue tansy is really good for your brain. So actually, the first thing I do in the winter with Balance is I just get it on my hands because I know my hands are dry. And so this gives me one extra time to moisturize my hands. Then I'm going to take a few more drops. And you see, I'm being pretty generous with this. I did about 4 drops before. I'm going to do 3 or 4 more now. And I'm going to put it on my fingertips. And I'm going to start at my hairline. And I'm just going to massage this all the way through my scalp because this is going to protect the hair at the root. And it is going to also get those beautiful oils like frankincense and blue tansy closer to the brain, which is where I want them because I am trying to also do double things with my essential oils, right? Not one thing for one thing. There's multiple aspects of these oils and what they can do. So it's going to protect my hair at the scalp, but it's also going to be small enough to seep into the skin, right? So you have to worry about what you put on your scalp, ladies and gentlemen, because you could be creating a toxic environment close to your brain, and we don't want to encourage anything, especially the diseases of aging like Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. We have to be very careful of that. And kids too. I see kids doing all kinds of crazy things with their hair now, and I wonder what chemicals they're putting on their scalps and what that's doing to their brain. So be very, very wary of what goes near your scalp. But this Balance oil is actually going to be health giving to the scalp. So as much as you can, and don't need a lot. You saw I just did 3 or 4 drops, and do a light massage. Then we're going to get 4 more drops. So this is great because you're usually 12 drops of Balance in one application, right? So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to focus on my ends. So I just take, I don't know, the last 2 inches or so of my hair and I section it off. My hair is not very thick, so this is pretty fast for me. I just take a piece like that and you can see, and then if you need more, that's fine. Sometimes I twist it. Sometimes I run my fingers through it, but the idea is to get it at the bottom of the hair, right? Especially, I have processed hair. I do use something natural. I try to be as safe as I possibly can, but it is one of my guilty pleasures. I like to color my hair. And so whatever's left, I really only needed those 4 drops. For me, that was enough to get through my hair. And you can see it kind of pulls the ends together and is a nice styling tool as well. So I really love Balance. And again, because your hands are going to be more dry, and of course you can do your wrists and your forearms, there's no reason why you can't get that wonderful oil on the rest of your body as well. So that's a treatment to winterize your hair. Let's talk about winterizing our skin. Now, I hope you're using a doTERRA product on your skin because it's really going to be the safest, healthiest, and most longevity producing skincare line that I've seen so far. But every once in a while, you need to create some extra treatment for your skin, especially during winter. So one of the habits that I have found very easy and very helpful is to pick a day of the week. I like Sundays. You can pick whatever day works for you. And to give yourself a doTERRA mud mask. Now, there's lots of different types of masks on the market. They do different things. They're designed different ways. I want to show you exactly how to use this mask for someone with aging skin. Now, aging skin, I consider 40 years old and older. All right. So for those of you who are 39 and younger, you can actually follow the directions as written on this bottle. You can put this directly on dry skin. You can leave it on your skin for 3 to 5 minutes. But if you want to maximize the benefit of a mud mask and you're 40 or older, you're going to do it a little differently. First, you're going to take a towel and you're going to get really, really hot water and soak the towel in hot water. And then when the towel is able to touch, okay, and in the winter, this is going to cool down probably pretty quickly, even if your house is warm, you're going to then cradle your face in the towel, okay? Just like this. Now, it should not be, it has to be warm, but not painful. The idea is to open the pores of the skin. And what I would do at that moment, actually, to create even a better experience is when you have the warm towel, once you have it warm, then you're going to take a couple of drops of Serenity Essential Oil Blend. Now, this blend is calming to the mood, so it's giving you a spa moment, but it is also going to be really enriching to dry skin. So our hot towel opening up the pores, we've got our essential oils on. It's not too warm to put on our skin, and then we're going to cradle our head in the towel. And then I want you to just breathe deeply for 2 to 3 breaths. So you're going to breathe in and you're going to hold it for a count of 6 to 8. And then you're going to exhale 6 to 8. So it's nice and rhythmic. So you're going to inhale 6 counts, hold it 6 counts, exhale. Do that 3 times, okay? And then your skin should be opened up and ready for the mask. Now, I'm not going to put this on my face, but I will show you on the back of my hand what it looks like. Now, if the skin is nice and wet, which is what you want, and the pores are open, you're going to take this, and again, this is a mud mask. There are many different kinds of masks on the market. This is going to be super cleansing. One of the things I love about this is when you wear your daily sunscreen moisturizer from doTERRA, which is part of the sun line. Part of the problem with that is that you will end up with the product clogging your pores. So using a mud mask is a way to protect those pores. So you're going to take that mud mask and you're just going to paint your skin just like that. Okay? And then once you just have it sort of that light white color, you're going to wait for 1 minute, just 1 minute. Okay. So not 3 to 5 like it says on the bottle, because that's really for someone who has much younger skin. And remember, the point of our show, Radical Age Reversal, is to help you to age gracefully, slowly, and properly. We don't want to accelerate the aging process. And too deep cleaning, drying with mud masks can actually do the opposite of what we're trying to do with mature skin. So once it's been on for a minute, you're going to take that warm, you're going to rinse that towel in nice hot water again, and you're going to apply it to the face, again, cradling the face just with the mud. And then you're going to gently, okay, so I'm going to just put that hot towel on my hand, and you can do this on your hands as well. And you're going to gently remove the product. Now you can see how easily it's removed, which is why I love this mask. And it leaves no residue. It's not drying. You don't feel like you've had a facelift after you've used this product. So that's how you're going to keep your skin, your face, looking nice and young throughout the winter, and you're protecting it from the damage that hot to cold. And you can be indoors and do damage to your skin because the dry heat can also, that artificial heat from the heaters can also dry out your skin. And then you go into the freezing cold, and that freezing cold can also hurt the skin. So once a week, I choose Sunday, and I think it's nice to give yourself sort of an over body treatment once a week. That's a really nice thing to do. All right, now let's go to our hands. You want to make sure that you have a bottle of the spa lotion ready for the winter. This is going to be one of your best winterizing products. And what I love to do is actually mix this with lavender and geranium. But you could use balance, you could use serenity, you can pick your favorite essential oil. And what you're going to do is actually just put some of the lotion in your hand, and then you're going to get a pair of gloves, which I actually had, but I forgot to bring. But I think you know what I'm talking about. They're like a sleep glove, and you only have to leave this on for 5 minutes. So put the lotion and the oil on your hands, put the gloves on, and then you could read a book, watch a show, you could meditate, give yourself 5 minutes of silence. You can set a timer. But even if you did that, if you did it once a day, it would be amazing. But if you did it even once a week, you're going to see great results with your hands. Please, please make sure that if you're using a lot of water during the day, that you wear gloves. You don't want your hands in dishwashing detergent for a very long time. They're very, very drying of the skin, and they pull all the good moisture out of the skin. They also kill your microbiota. So you know, your microbiome covers your skin. We have to preserve that. The essential oils are going to feed the microbiome. The lotion is going to protect the microbiome. So that's a really good thing. Now, this is the fun one that I wanted to show you. And I remember going to this great spa in New Jersey, and they would do a foot treatment where they would put your feet in warm water and then lotion, and then they'd cover it with some kind of wax, and then they would wrap your entire foot, ankle, and part of your leg, I think up to your knee, if I recall properly, and they would kind of wrap you with saran wrap. Now, I'm not a big fan of plastics. I'm not sure they're very good for us. And then when they interact with things, I'm a little nervous about what the chemical reaction is doing to the microbiome. So I've come up with a natural solution that I'm really excited about. All right, so I went online and I found natural alternatives. These are made from plant starch, compostable, resealable bags. Okay, so there's a lot of different brands out there. I'm not promoting any particular brand, but I love the fact that they're made out of plants. Okay, so you're going to get 2 of these bags. And then the next thing you're going to do is actually, you're going to, and you can actually do a mud mask on your feet if you wanted to. That's one thing that you could do. You could also do a body scrub on your feet first, but you can skip all of that and go straight to the treatment part. Now, the first thing that we're going to apply to our foot is Purify. And the reason we're going to do that is that if our feet tend to be in boots and in socks and trapped in sometimes not natural fibers, not natural, if you can buy a natural shoe as opposed to a man-made leather or a man-made fabric, it's going to breathe better. Natural is always going to be better. But I know for some people, they don't want to wear leather, or there might be some other financial issue. So that's okay. But you're going to know that as your foot sweats in that cold, you're going to build up some bad bacteria. Okay, so we talk about the microbiome and the good bacteria. There's also bad bacteria, and that's usually where you get the stink from. And so when you start smelling those winter boots and you say, this is not good, then you need to take some On Guard, put it in your boots, or you take some Purify and put it in your boots. But one of the things I want to do today, and hopefully this will work. Yep, I think this is going to work. Is I'm going to take my foot and show you how you can do this treatment with your boots. I mean, with your feet, to protect your feet over the winter. Okay, it's a little fuzzy on my foot. So you're going to take your Purify and you're going to cover your foot just like this. And I like to get in between the toes because that's where moisture can build up. And remember, essential oils feed the microbiome. All right, chemicals destroy the microbiome. So synthetic chemicals, they're all chemicals, but synthetic chemicals destroy the microbiome, and we don't want that. So you want to, and see, I'm being pretty generous here. So my rule of thumb is usually 1 to 4 drops, but when it comes to a treatment, I'm being a little more generous, and it's okay. You don't have to worry about it. All right. So that's step one. Step two is going to be serenity. So again, the Serenity blend is so good for winterizing your mind, your mood, your emotions, and your skin. And so I'm going to take some Serenity and I'm going to put that on my foot as well. Make sure that, and again, I'm being generous, all right? Bottom of the feet, in between the toes too. Okay, and just get your whole foot. Then you're going to get the doTERRA Spa hand and body lotion. Okay. And I have a bad bottle, unfortunately. I dropped it and I broke the cap. So that was my fault. So I have to take the cap off. But this lotion is very, uh, it has a lot of hydration to it. Okay. So it's not a body butter, it's an actual lotion. Now, could you do this with the body butter? You could. I really like the lotion though. I like the idea of increasing hydration over the winter. So I'm going to be, again, very liberal with this. The first pass is really just to give the skin some moisture. I find anyway that it soaks in really quickly. You may find that if you're really good at moisturizing your skin, you could do this once, but I needed a little extra moisture. Then the next thing I'm going to do is get my Correct X. Now the Correct X is going to go on my heel or anywhere on my foot where I feel like I have a lot of thick skin, a lot of dryness. So that goes on my heel. Okay. Now that's done. This is where the fun part comes in. Now you're going to take your plastic bag. Oops, and I got one already. And you're going to put your plastic bag over your foot. Okay. Couldn't be easier. And this could be a fun thing to do with some friends one night, invite a bunch of friends over for a movie, maybe a glass of wine, something like that. And then what I like is get a pair of extra long knee socks. Now, the reason I'm using an extra long sock is because my bag actually comes up over my ankle. And so you want your sock to actually hold the moisture in, and you want it to be a little bit tight over the foot. Because remember, when you go to those spa places, they wrap your foot in a plastic wrap. That gets very, very tight around the foot. And that's where all of the good moisturizing takes place. So you can see I have my foot in a nice tight but thin sock. I'm not using anything that's super heavy. And then you would do it for the other foot as well. Now, if you're at home for the day and you want to just walk around like this, you can. Otherwise, I would leave it on for at least an hour if you could, because you really want those feet to be well moisturized. I think that's a great idea. Okay, moving on. Now, body treatments. So in the winter, soap can be something that we have to be very careful of because what's in soap can be super drying to the skin. We need to be a little bit more gentle in the winter, and at least once a week, if not every time you shower or bathe, you may want to actually switch out your regular doTERRA soap for the doTERRA body scrub. I buy this for 4 months straight. It's always on my order every month, my subscription order. I have this like set it, forget it. I love it. I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. So instead of using soap everywhere except for your face, because you have a special routine for your face, of course, with our face products, but you can use this on your entire body. It's going to give you gentle exfoliation. And when you exfoliate, it's not vigorous. So I don't want you to think that, especially in the winter, you have to really, really slough off all the dead skin. Leave that for the spring, okay? When the spring comes and you're spring cleaning, and we're going to talk about changing foods and changing routines, we can get to that. But in the winter, everything's going to be a little bit gentler. So you're just going to use this in place of soap all over. And what I usually do is I apply it neck to foot, and then shower off all at once. So it's up to you, whatever system you use, but this is what I would use. And if you want to leave it on for a little bit and then shower it off, that's fine too. There's all kinds of, ways that you can use that, of course. Now your nails. Nails are a big thing, especially if you're getting manicures and you're using nail polish remover, even the natural ones, strip the nails and the skin of their moisture. So, Correct X again is going to be a great friend. You can see mine's almost done. I use this for everything. I even use it on my lips. If my lips get dry, clears up any kind of cracking, right away. And then you can use the lip balm every day just as a regular routine. But I take this and I use it around my nails. So because it has this nice little pointy spout, right after I take my nail polish off, I would put this around the cuticles, rub it into the cuticles, and leave it on for a little bit. If you're going to paint your nails and you're worried that the oil from the Correct X is going to prevent the polish from sticking, then just gently wipe it off with a tissue. You don't have to go to the lengths of, I notice in some salons, they like to take like a Q-tip with nail polish remover and like go over the nail and really dry out the nail. I don't think that's good for your nails. It's not good for your health either. So the Correct X is just perfect. Take a tissue and you're ready to go. Your cuticles will be nice and moisturized and your nails are going to look great. So no concern there. All right. In our last few minutes, I want to talk about those warnings I gave you and the things that you can do to make sure that you're combating those warnings. Let's talk about the sugar one first. Sugar goes up when the weather goes down, right? Things get cold. We tend to go to comfort foods. We have a lot of holidays in the winter months that bring out all kinds of different types of high sugar foods and things that actually we end up starting our day with pastries and sweet things and pancakes and all those things that we eat in the winter that actually are a bad way to start the day. So you want to remember we're still starting our day with either fiber or protein, right? That's really, really important. I say fiber first. That's my mantra, fiber, fiber first. Some people say protein first. I'm not saying they're wrong, but for me, I love the fiber first. Then I go to my protein. Put the carbs all the way at the end of the meal, especially when you're starting your day and it's your first meal of the day. So I looked up a group of foods that we should be eating in the winter. And if you'd like to, you can just jot some of these down. You can also do a quick search and just see which are the best foods for your health in the winter. But ones that are really great that we should keep in mind is anything in the cabbage family. This is the time to eat cabbage foods, whether it's Brussels sprouts or Napa cabbage or regular green cabbage, red cabbage, whether you're eating it in sauerkraut, if it's pickled, fermented, if you want it baked, it doesn't matter how you're going to eat it, but try to get some kind of cabbage into your diet every day. And if you find that cabbage is really gassy, the antidote to gas, the number one antidote to gas is ginger oil and bone nutrient. So bone nutrient is filled with all these minerals that actually bring up your electrolyte level and also help your digestion. So a lot of people think, oh, I need more fiber or I need more water, I need more probiotics, and that's why I have gas. And the truth is, you probably just don't have enough of the key electrolyte minerals. And we're going to talk about electrolytes in February a lot, so stay tuned for that. But just get some bone nutrient. If cabbage doesn't agree with you, and take one bone nutrient or two bone nutrient with your cabbage meal, and you'll be fine. And take a little bit of ginger or Digest Zen, and you'll be fine. Okay. Also, beets. Beets are great roasted, also pickled, also fermented. You can even eat them raw. Uh, we also have butternut squash, anything in the squash family. Just remember, everything that got harvested in the fall that is stable is what we're supposed to be eating over the winter. So cabbage lasts forever. Root vegetables like beets and carrots and turnips and celery and parsnips, those are all really good and should be eaten. Onions, also really good, cold storage. Cauliflower, broccoli, all of those cruciferous vegetables should be eaten right now. Sweet potatoes, excellent. And this one I thought was interesting. Walnuts. Walnuts are particularly good for winter foods. And I guess that makes sense that we have a lot of desserts over the winter traditionally that have sweet walnuts like honey and walnuts. And honey is a great sugar alternative and really wonderful thing to eat in the winter. And celery. Okay, so another stalk vegetable. Wonderful. I used to cook celery just by itself and make it as a side dish, and people couldn't believe how delicious it was. You can add different herbs to it. You can add butter to it. You can add, coconut oil to it if you wanted. It's very versatile celery, and I think just has a bright, delicious taste to it. So experiment with your celery. That's going to be something you want to keep in mind. Now, the other warning I gave you was to be careful that you not have a lot of light on when it's super dark outside. You want to have these dim lights. I recommended that you get a special light bulb that's going to mimic the sun, and you can actually get a dimmer switch so that you can lower that light. At least if you still have to stay up, if you're somewhere where it's dark at 4:30 and you say it's unrealistic for me that I'm going to be up, I have to be up. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I have kids. I have the homework. I have work to do, whatever it is. But you want to work in a more ambient environment. You want to lower the light on your screens. You want to get blue light glasses to work at those hours so that you're not messing up your circadian rhythm. And you're going to do whatever you possibly can to move your mealtime as early as possible, because eating when it's dark outside is something that is going to really mess up your metabolic rate. So, why do people gain winter weight? Mostly it's due to increased amount of sugar, and secondarily because they're eating in the dark. And when I say they're eating in the dark, they're eating when it's dark outside. So if you're trying to watch your weight, those are the two things that you have to be most careful of. So if you want your sugary treat, make sure the sun's out. And if you want to eat a bigger meal, make sure the sun's out. And as it gets darker, try to reduce the amount of food you're eating as much as possible. That's a perfect time to take in warm liquids, hot herbal infusions. You can have any kind of decaffeinated warm drink. Again, try to keep away from things that have a lot of sugar in them. I know people like warm milk and things like that at night. And for you, maybe that's okay. You have to see how your body reacts. But you really don't want to eat heavy meals when it's dark outside. And then you want to make sure that you are always dressed properly for the winter. Don't run in and out of your house because you think I'm going from a hot car to a hot house to my hot office. And it doesn't matter when I hit that cold air outside that it's not going to hurt my skin. It's not going to hurt my lungs. You definitely want to make sure that when you have those really deep freezes, it's been as low as 2 degrees here, that your body needs to be protected from that. So make sure you do all you can to protect your body from that. All right, we ran a little long today, but there's a lot of winterizing to do, and I hope these tips have been helpful. So many of the bits of information that I give, I hope, are free, so you can easily incorporate them and pass them on to other people. Some of the other tips, I do realize there is a cost involved, but I hope I give you budget-friendly advice on amounts to use and how often to use them. If you have questions about how to get these doTERRA products into your daily routine, how to afford them, there are lots of different ways to even get these products for free. And so I can give you some of those tips if you contact me directly. The easiest way to do that is to put your put your contact information in the comment section, or send me an email at carrie.donegan@gmail.com. That's CARRIE.DONEGAN@gmail.com. And I'll see you next week. God bless.